Yeah, no, I think we're definitely ahead of where we were at this time last year, on some things. The guys have done a really nice job of having some carryover and being able to retain and build off some of the progress and things we were able to do last year. Been really pleased and excited with how a lot of the young guys and newer guys have pushed themselves and are stepping into some leadership roles, with some of those competitive starting roles and positions, and then some of the guys that just got here too that are learning it for the first time. And regardless of what phase that the guys have been at, they've done a nice job of attacking things and building on and learning from mistakes and building on successes. So it's been a good camp so far.
Is there one group in particular that's jumped out in terms of its efficiency?
I think each one has had some really, really bright spots, and there's some things obviously we're working on to get better at each spot. I think I've been really, really proud of the receivers, of how Keegan Johnson and RJ Garcia and Philip Brooks obviously has led that group, and how they've been able to, grow together as a unit and a little bit of a new unit that way. I think they've done a really nice job.
How are you envisioning the kind of the division of labor running back-wise to work?
I think it'll be a work in progress. It's been extremely competitive. There's a lot of talent in that room. There's with DJ's experience that he was able to get last year and the production he was able to have. Trayshawn's obviously battle tested and has gotten a lot of snaps under his belt and extremely talented. And then you got a lot of guys around those two, that'll be able to contribute in some different ways. So we'll kind of take it as it comes. A little bit may depend on the week that we're having and what we're going to need out of them, from what we're seeing on some things. But they've been a great group. They've been learning and competing and getting better.
Collin, when you saw the changes to the clock coming in this season, what kind of went on your mind as offensive coordinator and how you could take advantage of those?
You lose a little time to score some points. I don't like that. But I think from a logistical standpoint, the 2-minute situation staying the same will keep, for the most part, the strategy part the same. It's just going to run out a little bit faster. So.
I know you mentioned receivers, but specifically Philip Brooks as the older guy in the room. What's he meant there?
The stability is huge. Philip's seen a lot of football, a lot of different situations, and been through it all. So I think his experience level and mentorship for those young guys has been huge. And then obviously he and Will have played a lot of football together too. So we'll take every ounce of that.
What do you like most about Keegan so far in camp?
His short area quickness, his ability to come in and out of breaks is special. His ability to create separation at the top of routes, man or zone, but in particular with man, makes those QBs really confident and anticipating and getting it out of their hand for them. So, and he's felt like he's gotten stronger. He's really worked on his body, and he takes care of his body really, really well. And so his durability and how he has gotten better here now, even in the meat of camp, has been impressive.
The preseason AP top 25 came out today. You guys are 16th. Just can you talk about how you guys handle the hype entering the season?
Yeah, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And it doesn't matter if they don't think you're worth a lick or they think you're pretty good at the end of the day. We've got 12 guaranteed opportunities to prove them right or wrong. And at the end of the day, just trying to take it one step at a time and be the best unit that we can be. And that's my sector of it, and our players, we just gotta own that and take care of it as best we can.
I was curious if you might be able to walk us through the quarterbacks right now.
Yeah. Starting with Will, I think it's been really fun to watch him be able to really take the reins as the starting QB, and having an off season under his belt which he earned, that right was. And him grow into that and utilize that has been fun, and he's done a great job with it. I think again he's working at his craft constantly, and so from a footwork standpoint to an arm talent standpoint, I think he's improved of how he's spinning it, and then being able for him to truly work our offense and how he has a lot of autonomy in it and ability to adjust and work things, and how he's able to take advantage of that and grow into that's been tremendous. Jake Rubley has been, I think he's had his best camp, since he's been here, and I think is really growing and has grown in the understanding of the offense, and is battling with Avery there, because obviously, it's amazing anymore. It's not necessarily even a depth chart. It's having true depth to be able to play. Heaven forbid anything happens like some of the things we've experienced. And so, Avery be behind him right now and is doing a tremendous job. It's pretty amazing to watch a true freshman work as hard as he has to put himself in a position to truly run the offense and compete. And he's done a tremendous job with that and hasn't been overwhelmed or, has really done some nice things throwing and running the football in the offense. So really excited about him. Adrian Lara has done some nice things again and has some tremendous arm talent. And then it's been great having Jacob Knuth here as well. This is his first camp and kind of getting a feel for things. So it's a tremendous group. I mean, they're extremely tight, top to bottom, and that's something that I know they take a lot of pride in. And they're eating together every meal and talking about scheme and getting each other ultimately as good as each one of them can be, and obviously getting ready for the journey we have ahead of us.
In a perfect world, would you like to see Avery redshirt?
I'll tell you what, I feel like the last few years have really slowed my want to even try to project certain situations, just because there's so many unknowns, and obviously we projected that last year with Will. I mean, that was when I answered that question last year about Will, that's what I said, and obviously the twists and turns of it and how everything went down, it worked out how it worked out. So really at this point in time, we got to just ultimately get each one of those guys as ready to play as they possibly can, having them sold out that, hey, and understand that, it's about the team first, just like Will had to do last year, and we got to try to put our team in a position to win from the quarterback position, and however that shakes out, we'll try to do what's in the best interest of each one of those kids, with those being the priorities.
Is offensive line depth such that one injury doesn't throw everything into a total state of flux?
We're very fortunate that way to have a lot of flexibility. It's kind of Coach Riley's got a Rubik's Cube there. There's a lot of different ways that we can put it together, and that we've been kind of working some things. But again, the experience and a little bit of the depth and young talent in that room, and the type of group they are, and the type of Coach Riley is, allows us to. There's a lot of different scenarios and a lot of things that we're prepared for.
What's the depth like at tight end behind Benson?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's been fun. I think our tight ends have had a really good camp. Will Swanson has continued to improve and does a lot of good things in line for us. I think Garrett Oakley's been a huge standout. His growth from spring to fall has been very evident in the run game and the pass game, understanding his schemes and processing what he needs to do. Like I said, I think he's been a huge bright spot. And then there's a lot of other guys that are showing flashes. I mean, Braden Lofton's doing a great job. A couple young freshmen and Will Anksia and Andrew Metzger and Garrett Harstad, who just got here even, are doing some nice things. So excited for that whole group, and again, they're a hard-working bunch, so we'll be in great shape.
Anybody on defense who's been a real pest for you guys in practice?
Uso's been a machine. I mean, we haven't. He's caused a lot of problems for us, and I think that secondary is getting longer. I know Will Lee's flashed and made some plays in the back end with Kobe and some of those other guys back there. So it's, but again, all of us are trying to work things out, and it's kind of daily. Sometimes there's some really good in some spots, and then there's some times that we got to get a lot better in that same spot the next day, and that's part of training camp.
What's impressed you the most about Trayshawn since he got on campus?
I think he's a really hard worker. I mean, he's kind of quiet, laid back, but he's processing and working through things, and his short area quickness is really good. I mean, his start and stop in a small box is really good. And then, in the spring, his hand was a little dinged, so I think probably the thing I'd say that's newest on that part is his ball skills. I mean, he really catches the ball well, and has showed that and proved that in camp.
How helpful was it though for him to go through camp even if he wasn't full strength?
Oh, I mean, it's invaluable. I mean, shoot, he was, even catching in a cast this spring. So I mean, he was able to get stuff done, formations, alignments, how we packaged some of the run game, blocking assignments. It was invaluable for him, and he capitalized on it.
One more year for Coach.
Looking back, is it interesting that there's been so much attention to your Heisman class?
Oh, shoot. What's that?
We have to end on that one.
Yeah, look at the time. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what there's. I live under a rock. I come here and I go home. So someone even had to tell me that it was going on and a documentary was being made. So I even had no idea.